So, what sports should our kids play? It's a huge question, one that pretty much every parent and coach thinks about. In this explainer, we're going to dive into the different options and see what the research says is the best way to set them up for long term success and, just plain happiness.
It's a massive question, isn't it? I mean, you've got everything from the soccer field to the swimming pool to the basketball court. Where do you even start? It seems like it should be a simple choice, but as we're about to see, it has these huge ripple effects that go way beyond just getting some exercise.
And that's because sports are, well, so much more than just a game. When you get right down to it, they're basically a training ground for life itself. They don't just shape a kid's body. They build their character, their resilience, and their mind.
Look, this isn't just about getting kids to run around for an hour. It's about laying the foundation for their entire future. The coordination they learn, the discipline, the teamwork, all of it. Those are the actual building blocks for a healthy and successful life, long after the final whistle blows.
Okay, so where do most kids even begin their sports journey? Usually, it's with whatever is popular, what's right in front of them. So let's take a quick look at the cultural powerhouses in America and Europe.
In the US, you've got baseball and basketball, which are practically woven into the fabric of our communities. Then you hop across the Atlantic, and the world pretty much revolves around soccer, or football. It's a total masterclass in endurance and strategy. And yeah, these sports are incredibly popular for a reason, but that begs the question, does being popular make them the only choice?
And right here, this is the heart of a huge debate in youth sports. Is it better to have your kids specialize early, to go all in on one of these big sports to try and achieve mastery? Or is there maybe a better, more effective way to build a truly well-rounded athlete?
Well, it turns out the evidence points somewhere else entirely. It's something called the multi-sport advantage. And that old saying, variety is the spice of life, turns out it's pretty much the key to better athletic development too. And this isn't just a theory, okay? The research is really clear on this. Pushing a kid to specialize too early can actually hold them back, and even worse, lead to total burnout. A broader approach just seems to build a more complete athlete for the long haul.
So why is mixing it up so much better? Well, for starters, you avoid those repetitive strain injuries that come from doing the same motion over and over and over. You're also building a whole library of motor skills, not just one chapter. But maybe the biggest thing of all, it just takes the pressure off. It helps kids avoid burnout so they can find an activity they genuinely love for life. A really great way to look at it is like a balanced athletic diet. You've got team sports like soccer or basketball, which are fantastic for learning communication and strategy. But then you've got individual sports like swimming or tennis that build self-reliance and precision. An athlete who gets a taste of both, they just end up with way more tools in their toolbox.
I mean, take swimming. What an amazing sport. It's an incredible full-body workout, but it's super low impact. So you're building all this strength and cardio without putting all that stress on growing joints. It's the perfect complement to high-impact sports.
Or think about tennis. Talk about a sport that sharpens your reflexes and hand-eye coordination. It develops a totally different kind of athletic intelligence. And you know what? Those skills translate incredibly well to almost any other physical activity a kid might try down the road.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the physical side of things, but honestly, that's just scratching the surface. The impact that sports have on a kid's mind, on their mental well-being, and of course, on their safety is just as crucial. And this, right here, might be one of the most important benefits of all. Physical activity is such a powerful tool for mental health. In a world that just keeps piling on the pressure, sports offer this vital outlet for kids to manage stress, build real confidence, and find some balance.
And let's be real, this is more critical today than ever before. When you look at how a kid's day is sliced up, it's so easy for screen time to just swallow everything else. Sports are one of the best ways to get that balance back, to get kids moving, get them outdoors, and have them connect with each other in the real world. Of course, we can't have this conversation without talking about safety. It has to be priority number one. The goal is to challenge our kids, not put them in harm's way. And that all comes down to smart choices, great coaching, and the right gear. As you can see, there's a whole spectrum of risk. Sports like swimming and tennis are less about contact and more about technique, so they tend to have lower injury rates. On the flip side, higher contact sports like American football or rugby, can they be played safely? Absolutely. But it requires a much bigger commitment to amazing coaching, top-of-the-line gear, and strict safety rules from day one. This all brings us to our final and maybe most important point. What is the real end game here? With youth sports, what are we actually trying to accomplish? Because the true victory, it's never on the scoreboard. It's about instilling a love of being active that lasts an entire lifetime. It's about building character, health, and happiness. A win is temporary. These skills are forever. So here's the game plan. It's pretty simple. Encourage them to try both team sports and individual sports. Get them outside as much as possible, and above all else, the golden rule, make sure it's fun and make sure it's safe. That is the formula for raising not just a good athlete, but a healthy, well-rounded human being. And that leaves all of us with a final question to think about. In our own communities, our schools, our families, how can we start to shift the focus away from just winning and back to what truly matters? A lifetime of growth, health, and joy. Thanks for joining me.